I'm not good with details, so this is almost like being in a verbal exam and needing to give the detail. On these bookshelves right behind me and just over there are the books that influenced me. I can't tell you, I can tell you the one thing. I can tell you one of the two. I can tell you one of the two. I'm stepping just out of camera. An unknown book that not everyone, that I hope you can still find. And if you can't, look me up and I'll tell you how. So way back when I was just trying to figure out how to transform my own life, and I'm not suggesting that I have, I mean, financially I have, and in status I have, but I'm not sure that I have truly transformed the other stuff that influence and drive me. But way back when I was still listening to audio cassettes and watching videos, I bought a video set for more money than we could afford at the time. I bought it in the mid-1980s, and it cost, I had to buy it on 36 months on my credit card. And it was a video by a man called W. Mitchell. Mitchell is a very celebrated inspirational speaker in America. His story is essentially that just after coming back from Vietnam, he wanted to be a pilot, so he was flying. He was learning to fly, but he was also working as a there's a name for it, as a gripper on the trams, the trolleys in San Francisco. He was on his way back from his first solo flight to go and work on the trams one day when a driver skipped a stop street, a milk van, I think, and ran him down, and the fuel tank of the motorcycle popped open. He got drenched in fuel. The sparks on the road caused him to ignite, and he burnt like a candle. His face burnt off. His hands and his ears and his nose burnt. His lips burnt off. Mitchell transformed. Mitchell came back through phases. Later, he was in an aeroplane. He learned to fly without hands. Later, in an aeroplane crash, he ended up in a wheelchair. What are the odds of that happening to one man in one lifetime? The point is, Mitchell teaches this. Your life is where it is because of choices you make or choices you fail to make. And if the current life that you are living is not the one that you wanted to live, then learn to make better choices. And there are things that you don't get to choose, like losing a loved one or someone in your life dying or COVID. But how you choose to respond. What does he say? It is not what happens, but what you do about it that matters. I watched that video, and it was the second biggest transformational thing in my life. It taught me to own the fact that I was where I was because of how I dealt with everything else in my life. That one insight got me to take responsibility for my decisions. Later, the fairy tale is that I got to meet Mitchell and spoke on the same platform as him in America, and we became good friends. This is the book version of the videos I watched. And Mitchell is older now, but still around. Look him up. If you ask me, the single most inspirational, influential book I ever read in my entire life, it's not what happens to you, but what you do about it, by W. Mitchell. His inscribed copy dated 2000. That book and his video is the single biggest transformational book I have ever read. I hope that is helpful in some way.